Hello, it is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. I'm Chris Primo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday crossword, which means we should be solving a relatively approachable puzzle. And as a note, there will not be any disruption to the schedule this week, as I expected yesterday, so don't worry about that. However, I am still coughing, so I may need to do more edits to the video. If you see what look like surprising tiny little jump cuts, that would be why. I'll try to keep those to a minimum for my own sake, but I wanted to let you know. In any case, this hopefully still fairly gentle edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Josh Lucas, Alex, Laura Sexton, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 5 of them. They are benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, and they are, of course, sustaining this channel, bringing us this series. I'm very grateful to them for that. If you would like to support this channel directly as well, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video to find all of the bonus videos available to patrons, which include, I think today, in a few hours, there will be the bonus puzzle, New York Times monthly bonus puzzle themed around National Hug a Bear Day. So enjoy that one if you're a patron. And everything else that's up on there. And of course, there's also the Daily Solve official mug for benefactors. Thanks to everybody who is a patron. And thanks as well if you like these videos, subscribe to the channel, all of those sorts of things. I really appreciate it. It does help. And finally, you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server via a description field link as well. It's a nice friendly chat community over there, so do consider checking it out. All right, let's get on to the puzzle. Here we have a collaborative Tuesday construction by Kevin Curry and Daniel Bodley. Daniel Bodley's name I recognize, done about half a dozen puzzles for the Times. I believe Kevin Curry is a debut. So welcome to him and to both of our co-constructors. It was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It's a Tuesday crossword, shouldn't be too tricky. There will be a theme. Let's find out what it is. Let's start solving. NL East team for which Tom Seaver pitched. Not sure, unsurprisingly. Miata maker, though. This I know. This is the automaker Mazda. So there we go. Maybe the Mets? I don't know. Kindle item. So Kindle is an ebook reader, Amazon's ebook reader. And there's an E word that I accept because people do use it regularly. Chop house choice. Right, okay. So this is probably a cut of meat, but also there's an asterisk, which means it is likely a themed clue and answer. We don't yet know what that means, although I've just realized, actually, because this is pointing down to 53, which is likely going to be some kind of central thematic clue, we have a vertically symmetrical, we have a grid that's symmetrical about a vertical axis, I should say. So ordinarily, these puzzles are radially symmetrical, but not today. Today it is has this vertical axis of symmetry. And that often happens with themed constructions in order to allow the constructor to fit what they need in the puzzle. Let's see, should I look down at our highlighted clue? Oh, this one has it too. I didn't even realize. So here, maybe I will, now that it's been highlighted twice. With the giant letter formed by the black squares immediately above this answer, that's a T, I suppose, what the answers to the starred clues all literally have. Right. So this will be probably a T-bone steak, maybe? I'm just thinking because of the T, that presumably is going to be relevant to the theme. They all literally have, what do they literally have? Oh, I don't know. I wish I could just get that immediately. It'd be nice, but I don't think I can. So this does look like the Met, doesn't it? This looks like ABBA. Yes, pop band with a palindromic name would be ABBA. When repeated, slogan of one down. Right, okay, so Mazda's slogan, I guess, still must be zoom zoom, or at least was at one point. One required by a 1629 law to wear 2 swords. Must be a samurai. There we go. That's one of those laws. I wonder if it's still actually technically on the books. It's always fascinating what laws have never been officially repealed and yet have essentially no relevance to modern life. Torus-shaped treat would be a donut, of course. And Michelle Blank, FIFA Female Player of the Century. So that's interesting, but once again, it's a sports clue. I'm unlikely to know it. Article of summer footwear. A T Could it be something like a T-strap, sandal or thong or something? Could be. I don't know if that's a phrase unto itself, but it seems like it would be. Plopped down, you sat, you plopped down. Attempt to cool in a way would be to stir soup, maybe? Try to cool it, you sort of stir it down, maybe? Singer Bareilles, Sarah Bareilles, there's a name I recognize. Astronaut Jemison, Mae Jemison, I also recognize. So there we go, two proper nouns crossing one another, two names. Studio with an iconic lion. So MGM, the film studio, of course, has an iconic lion who roars at the opening of their films. Old man's old man. So your father's father, I suppose, your grandpa or gramps. Actually, I don't know which it's going to be. I'll leave it blank for now. Chess pieces could be men in the sense of chessmen. That's probably the answer. And then goes the distance. If you go the distance, you make it. So goes the distance, makes it. In other words, achieve your goal. Mama's mama. Oh, there we go. Under grandpa or gramps, we have Nana, probably. That's a bit more easy. It's a bit more confidently put in there because I don't know what else it would be. Bit of advice from a CPA. So that would be a certified public accountant. So tax something, probably. Here we have like items unveiled in a tech show, colloquially. Next gen, right? So next generation tech, often used to refer to the sort of bleeding edge. A bit of advice. Okay, we saw that. Right, this is this, which starts with a T, unsurprisingly, but I don't know what else is in it. With the giant black letter, what the answers to the starred clues all literally have. Tone, T1, T in the first position, I don't know. I don't think that's right. Okay, home of Acadia National Park. Must be Maine, based on the fill here. That makes Grandpa the answer to that one. And then a non-specialist would be an amateur, maybe. Mass recitation. This could be mass in the sense of a Catholic church service, but let's keep looking around. To know blank is to love blank. Her, I'm guessing. Just seems likely, but let's try it and see. Down the hatch, bottoms up. Okay. Pouch of fluid in an ER. I guess this could be him as well. So, and the reason I think that in this particular case is because this could be an IV something. The fact that ER is abbreviated makes me think something in here will be abbreviated as well. IV for intravenous would allow that to be the case. Let's see if that works here. Oh, yes, the mass recitation could be Ave Maria. There we go. So it is in the sense of a Catholic church service. And then skier's support would be a T-lift or a T-bar seat, maybe? I don't know. I'm not very confident about that. Oh, although this could be an IV bag, right. Pouch of fluid. For some reason, I was trying to think of actual fluids, but no, it's the pouch of fluid. So it is the IV bag. So maybe this is T-bar. Is it a T-bar seat, maybe? In other words, a way that the skier could be pulled up the slope. Actor whose name is appropriate to appear in this puzzle. Mr. T. There we go. Very good. Not just some. Any? I don't think this is right. Because a T-bar wouldn't be a seat necessarily. It would sort of pull you up. So, T-bar. Oh, a lift. Yeah, okay. So then not just some would be all right. Not just some of something would be all of it. There we go. So her name is blank and she dances on the sand. Duran Duran lyric. There we go. Her name is Rio. And she dances on the sand, goes the song. And conditions would be ifs, so things that may or may not happen. And then surefire is can't lose. There we go. Driver's license figure would be height? HGT? Is that an abbreviation for height? It's not one I recognize, but I'm sure it's the case. I blank what I said. I meant what I said. So this was to know him is to love him, which I suppose I could have put in after IV, but I didn't yet know if that was correct. All right, there we go. We're moving along. So no joke. Serious? Maybe? Let's look at the crosses. Wild guess. A stab in the dark, perhaps. Site with place bid buttons. eBay, I suppose, a website that allows you to place bids. straightforwardly enough. Tirade could be a rant, a kind of, shouted screed. Here we have the tilde symbol. And so this actually, Sirius looks like it was correct. Here we have a miniature mitt. So a mitt, a glove for playing t-ball, which is a, children's alternative to baseball. So a t-ball glove. Storage Wars Network. I haven't seen this, but it looks like A&E, which is a U.S. cable network. And then memory units are bytes, computer bytes. Treads on Keds. So Keds, especially capitalized there, is a brand of shoe. So they would have soles. And launchers sometimes used during halftime at a sports event. So this looks like T-shirt cannon. There we go. I'm very curious to know what the revealer here is. Aruba, Bonaire, or Curacao would be isles. So because, bear in mind, this is an or clue, we're only referring to any one of these isles. So the answer isn't isles, even though we have three here. It's only Aruba or Bonaire or Curacao, so a single isle. Canal written about by Twain and Melville. Must be the Erie Canal, although I couldn't give you the source material off the top of my head. Mars or a marble would be an orb, so just a spherical thing. And one of the B's in B&B, so B&B stands for bed and breakfast, so one of them is bed. Little Wonder, Stevie? Was he called Little Stevie Wonder? I don't know that, but I assume Stevie Wonder is the answer here, so I'm going to put it in the crit. I'm at your disposal. Use me, someone could offer. And then to make a typo, say, would be to err, to make a mistake in typing something. If you mandated something, you required it, you decreed it. And slobbery tennis ball, e.g., is a dog toy, I would think, in this case. First music artist to have a video with 1 billion YouTube views is Psy, right, with Gangnam Style. There you go. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Yes, I know you have. With the giant letter formed by the black squares immediately above this answer, what the answers to the starred clues all literally have. Do I still not see what this is? Tops? Oh, I wasn't, right, with the giant letter. I wasn't taking that into account. It's T-tops. So that is a kind of semi-convertible car feature, but also it's a common phrase, but also obviously it describes the beginnings of these clues. They have T's at their tops, and it was important, as the clue said, to incorporate the giant letter formed by the black squares, which I didn't do until just this moment, so there we go. Finally understand it. Okay, so the bit of advice here would be a tax tip, I guess, and then a wee one is a tot, a small child. Market launch for short would be an IPO, an initial public offering. Foreboding feeling would be dread. Yeah, you could feel dread, foreboding. Woodworking tool would be an odds, probably. But let's just check the crosses to be sure. 1 of 5 in a Shakespeare play, so Shakespeare's plays famously have 5 acts, so one of them would be an act. The main point would be the crux of an argument, for instance. An office sub would be a temporary worker. Name shared by 2 wives of Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn and Anne of Cleves. Let's just confirm that. Boxer who received a Liberty Medal for being a champion of freedom must have been Muhammad Ali. List in an etiquette book would be a list of no-nos. And fitness program originally called Rumba Size. Didn't know that. Must be Zumba. $5 bill slangily would be an Abe, named for Abe Lincoln, who's pictured on the bill. To cast someone out would be to expel them. To come clean would be to own up to something. Own it or own up, probably own up. And then impoverished would be needy, so in need. And then to have bills due would be to owe money. Noisy would be loud. And finally, words preceding with my little eye would be I spy with my little eye. There we go, a crossword that is almost complete. And impoverished, right, we said that would be needy, and there we go. That was the Tuesday crossword. Not too challenging, and had a theme that wasn't all that challenging, but I, for some reason, just did not properly interpret the revealer to understand the that little rebus bit with the T until the very end. But there we have it. That was the crossword. And let's just look at our T-tops quickly. We had a T-bone steak, a T-strap sandal, a T-bar lift, a T-shirt cannon, and finally a T-ball glove. There we go. And a very nice, sort of elegant looking grid. It almost sort of looks like an Art Deco design or something. It's interesting sort of barred vertical interlaced design. But there we go. A nice puzzle by Kevin Curry and Daniel Bodley. Not too tricky. I'm going to wrap this puzzle up because I'm already going to have to find the 3 edit points for my sudden coughing fits, and I don't want to have to add more to that task. So that's that for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday crossword. Do join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.